Hello, today I'm going to start with constraints. I will explain constraint. Particularly today I'm going to explain what kind of constraints we have, and the first one of them is going to explain as well. So basically there are three types of constraints in Microsoft Project. They are flexible, semi-flexible, and hard. So today, just remember that those three types of constraints exist, and I'm going to show you what are flexible constraints. First of all, flexible constraints are default. So if you don't set up other constraint than flexible constraint will be set up automatically. Here you can see I have two tasks. First task is 3 days long, second task is 2 days long, and they are connected. So you can see if that task number 2 is going to start immediately after task 1 is done, at first possible day. So if I now say task 1 will have 1 day durations, it will be finished at Monday, and immediately after that, task 2 will be started, and that is Tuesday. If I put, for example, 5 days for task 1, so it will last from Monday to Friday, and since we don't work at weekend, the task will start at first possible day, which is Monday. So let me now say that here we have 3 days, but we have at Wednesday we have, let's say, holiday. Now for that, I will go here and I will say holiday. And I will say start will be at Wednesday and finished at Wednesday. Okay, you will see immediately that the task will be started on Monday, but since the Wednesday is holiday, it will be finished on Thursday, and the task 2 will start at Friday and will be finished on Monday. How can I see that constraint? Anyway, if you double click on task, you will get project information here. And if you go to task information, sorry, not project. And if you go to advanced tab, you will see constraint type as soon as possible. Okay. So this is the default task constraint type if you don't set it up manually. And as soon as possible is default constraint type for projects which are supposed to start from the beginning, so from the start date. So if you go to project information, you will see that the project is scheduled from start date. Now, let me show you another project. Okay, I will close this one. I will not save it. I will open new one. I will say also my project. And I will say that this project should be scheduled from finish date. And let's say that finish date is here at, let's say, 1st of July, okay? Now, I have here project finish date set up. And now, if I put task 1 again, which will be 3 days, you will see that that task will be, the start date will be calculated backwards from the finish date to start date. So if I put task 2, here 2 days, and if I connect them, then task 2 will be scheduled from finish date, which is project end date, from here, okay, from here, project end date or finish date, and since it is supposed to be 2 days, it will be started at Wednesday, and after that the project will, this project will start at, will be started at Friday 23rd and will be finished at Wednesday 29th because it is scheduled backwards. So this is constraint which is called as late as possible. So be aware, when you have project scheduled from the start date, okay, then, and if I put start date once again here, okay, that it will be, let's say, today, okay, then I will have my schedule set up as wanted, okay, and that will be as soon as possible, but it should be changed. So be aware, if you have project from start date set, then automatically project as soon as possible will be set, project task constraint. If you have your project scheduled from finish date, like I did, okay, and I will say this is, sorry, not current date, but this is once again 1st of June, or no, July, okay, then the project will be started, will be scheduled, will be have a constraint as late as possible. And if you switch between them, so if you switch from project start date to project finish date and vice versa, especially from finish date to start date, the constraint, so you can see here, task 2, as soon as possible, and it is started from end date, it will not be switched back. Once again, let me show you here, maybe this is a little bit confused, so I will start my project. Okay, project information has from start date, and I say task 1, task 2, sorry, 3 days, 2 days. Predecessor is task 1. You will see project will have as soon as possible. If I now switch project from start date to finish date, and I pick whatever date I want, the constraint type will be as soon as possible. It will not be changed automatically. If I now create project from the scratch and I say okay, it will be from finish date, and the finish date is going to be somewhere in the future here, and I put task, let's say 1 and task 2, 3 days, 2 days, you will see that it will be properly scheduled from as late as possible. So if my task will let's say task 2 will have 4 days, you will see end date will not be changed, but it will task 1 will be moved backward, so to start earlier because the finish date is fixed. And that is all about flexible constraint. If you can, for a conclusion, if you can, I strongly recommend to use the schedule type and constraint type as flexible. So as soon as possible or as late as possible. And of course, I do not suggest to have a project which are going to be set to be scheduled from project finish date. I explained that in my previous video, so be aware. When you can, please use schedule constraint, use schedule between tasks using constraint, flexible constraint, which is as late as possible and as soon as possible. In my next video, I'm going to show you semi-flexible constraints, and until then, have a nice day.